Hey everyone, it's Heather, and this is episode 8 of Batwoman. It's the last episode before the crisis stuff happens, so I don't know if it's going to link in at the end, or if we're just going to have a normal episode, and then next week it'll be like the start of, whatever happens. I don't know. So last week there's something I didn't mention, I think, in the post-cap of last week's episode. But there's somebody called Sophia who, Alice, I don't know if she answers to her. She seems very angry to have that name mentioned. But they at least had some sort of understanding, and Alice went against her. So, yeah. And the name Sophia is very closely related to Sophie, so maybe she'll turn out to be evil, and that will be something. Although I doubt it. But the names, I was just struck just watching. I just quickly watched the last episode, like skip, see what happened, and I was like, Sophia, interesting. So yeah, last episode was about Sophie. She's like, I know you're Batwoman. I'm going to tell your father. And Batwoman basically trying to put her off the scent by having her friend from the old days, her friend, dress up in her suit and pose as her. And I don't know if Sophie bought it. She seemed more confused than apologetic. She wasn't like, oh my god, I really thought you were Batwoman, but clearly you're not. She was like, what's going on? How? What? She was more like that. So I don't think she bought it fully, but she was the only one there, so she was the target audience for that whole scheme. And in evil news, Mouse was posing as the father. So yeah, how's that going to work out? He's off gallivanting upstate somewhere. Is he going to come back? Is there going to be some sort of confusion? Is he going to be like, what do you mean I said this? I wasn't even here. Or is he going to be kidnapped? Never come back? Will Mouse just, fill in as a father figure now? I don't know. Maybe I misread that whole thing. Either way, this has been short. Last week was pretty much that. And, yeah. Let's get into it.
Found skull fragments of a little girl.
Skull fragments? It's the first I'm hearing of it.
Never the most memorable mad tea party Gotham has
Oh yeah, she's set up this mad tea party thing. I keep meaning to read Alice in Wonderland to get all the references.
The Beth is still there. Don't tell anyone, Bruce, but I think this makes me an optimist.
Bruce isn't going to tell anybody. He's not even getting the letters.
Give me your jacket.
Wait, what? Take it.
He's a bit of a pushover. She took my jacket! He's the victim in this situation.
Was that blood? You really shouldn't have.
Front right pocket. Rabbit dropped it in there before he made a run for it. Think we could use the phone's GPS to track Alice?
Okay, here's every location the phone's gone to the past 7 days.
Where's this?
My phone is so bad, it doesn't even have GPS, so Luke wouldn't be able to track it.
Oh, too sad, too loud. If you're going to kidnap me again, do wait until I can dolly up into something with a little more flair.
Did you hire the rifle to kill me? What is this?
That is a multi-million-dollar piece of technology that allows the coil accelerator to penetrate your suit. That's the only one that exists on the planet. Anyone who knew how to make it is, well, exactly that. Past tense. So, you're welcome. I am quite busy, and I have nothing to wear.
She could take these guys.
It's Kane. Be back in Gotham later tonight.
He's still away.
Plan for the Gala first thing.
Who is he
tomorrow.
calling?
Talk them.
Yeah, kidnapped. Okay.
Because you think that if Gotham sees us as a family that we'll start to believe it. And that's just not how it works. Not after what Catherine did.
But you gave Alice a second chance, and a third, and a fourth. How can you just write off my mom as Satan?
It's true.
You don't seem...
Because she's my family.
And I'm not. Got it.
Mary! That's not what she means.
I guess.
Fake is fake!
Unless Catherine somehow didn't fake Beth's death, then I don't know what there is to talk about.
I decided to get back with her
Getting
because...
back with her?
Yeah.
Wake up, Father dear. Why, what a long
This could be
sleep
interesting.
you've had.
At least she didn't stab him this time.
What do you want me to say? That I'm sorry? There is no word to describe what it feels like to know that I left you behind. Maybe believing that you were dead was easier than waking up every morning with hope. Or going to sleep every night with a broken heart. Of course, I should have looked longer. I should have hoped harder. I should have had the DNA tested myself. I failed you.
Thank you for saying that. Today is the day of my mad tea party.
Maybe it'll just be a tea party and not a
Catherine
massacre.
Daddy's choosing, he's choosing to forgive a woman who lied about the death of his daughter. My dad once found a joint in my backpack and grounded me for a whole summer. It doesn't make sense. This is not him.
Oh, maybe it isn't him.
This isn't him.
What am I missing?
She put it together. That's good.
Else, and if you want to work things
She's
out,
gonna
with
test
you
him.
must- I remember their wedding, big snowstorm, and I just kept wishing that maybe if we got snowed in, you wouldn't have to get married.
They got married in the summer.
My dad married Catherine on the hottest day of the year.
So if that's not your dad, then
It's a mouse.
I was thinking down south. Maybe Dollywood.
sounds cool.
What is
Dollywood.
up with you? I just suggested a road trip to Dollywood.
Nothing's up with me.
You love
Nothing,
Dollywood,
or you're
Tyler.
pretending to be cool about Kate and me, and you're obviously still freaked.
To be fair, she still has a thing for her, and Tyler is completely in the right.
Teams are already down in the theater beginning their sweep. Bitch.
Sophie, that's not being on it. That's being pranked.
All that.
To Catherine, a most extraordinary woman.
So tell me where Dad is.
Over there.
I left him in the same place he left me.
He got out.
Efforts are spearheaded by
Having her photo there is like at a funeral. It's kind of weird.
of the Gotham Humanitarian of the Year award.
When I took over this company from my father,
They could hack the
Tyler.
teleprompter and get her to say
Tyler.
stupid things. It'd be
Wake
fun.
up!
Look at these people in the
Hand the
background.
drink us.
Can't even see him.
Help! Right here!
They can't hear us.
Windows, soundproof walls. No one can hear us or see us.
Of course it is.
She's trying to preserve some sick relationship with Kate, and killing me would.
Killing you and me, Kate would never forgive her. Because Kate's still in love with you.
Ta-da!
I
You
have no
figured it
idea.
out.
Any idea how you feel?
Just say
Should
something.
probably figure out how to get out of here.
I love the way she just doesn't answer his awkward questions.
today,
Hey Catherine, great speech, but I have a bit of a last minute. Why isn't she saying it? Hey, who's that girl just waving in the aisle?
you honor me as one of Gotham's heroes. An honor that I
Bought and paid for?
bought and paid for.
Shocked.
My company makes millions by putting weapons of war in the hands of Gotham's criminals. And my husband rakes in even more by protecting you from them.
Taking down him with her.
Gotham's true enemies are right in front of you.
Vesper's gonna love this. She's like... Should be poisoned?
There's no cause for alarm. Please.
Well, now there is.
Everything's under control.
Everybody run! Ooh. Quick landing. That's gotta hurt your knees. She must have that wig pinned on really tight. This thing gets in a mess if I even like wiggle a bit. Afterwards it's just knotted together. So doing all that.
Other one.
Hard to ignore the irony of using the engagement ring I got you to escape your ex-girlfriend's lunatic sister who didn't kill us because she knows more about your past relationships than I do.
What do you want to know?
It's a complicated sentence, Tyler. Ooh, Alice and Mary.
Your husband won't be joining you. Al.
You stay the hell away from us! You poisoned her?
Group effort. I used a Catherine Hamilton recipe. Project 4782. Ring any bells? I think her internal organs are liquefying. I'll just tell you. It's a deadly neurotoxin designed to kill without mercy.
If she dies, I'll kill you!
A universal cure-all all the way from Oriana.
Magical antidote for anything?
When I saw Kate grieving, I saw my own daughter. I just wanted to take away her pain. But in trying to take away Kate's pain, I gave you a lifetime of it. It's all my fault. I'm truly sorry.
Thank you, Catherine.
That's a better apology.
Oh, dear. Not you, too. What? Such a shame.
There's only one.
There's only enough antidote
for one.
Okay,
Catherine. Time to go.
Dad, do choose wisely.
Is this a test? If Catherine sacrifices herself for her daughter, maybe she gets to live too?
Maybe we'll
drink it.
No, there has to be another way.
I always wanted to see you work at your clinic.
How did you know about the clinic?
She knew about the clinic.
I've always known.
Okay.
Mary.
Yeah.
You're the one thing I did right.
I didn't think they'd kill her.
No.
What is this?
Now, what's she set up for him?
Kate.
Who is this?
What?
What did you get me for my 6th birthday?
What? The bike that was too big for you. You wrecked it the same day. What is going on?
That was a tricky question. Birthdays kind of flow into each other when you're young.
Commissioner?
Planted.
I don't understand. What are you talking about? I've never seen that before in my life. What the hell is happening? Get your hands off of me!
Gotham is in shock
Stitch up
today
job.
over the death of Hamilton Dynamics CEO Catherine Hamilton Kane.
Mary.
Maybe Kate can tell her that she's
The
Batwoman
next day, like nothing had happened.
to bring her closer.
But you're literally the last person who can bring me comfort right now. I'm gonna ask you again, Kate. Is Alice worth it? Finally. Too bad it's too late.
People are idiots. I should call Mary.
I want kids.
What?
And dog. And
Tyler, now's not the time.
family tradition. Do you love me?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you in love with me?
Pause.
Because if you love me, you'll be real with me right now.
Pause.
I don't know.
Well, that's a no. Okay, Tyler, you got your answer. Time to move on.
I think you need to figure yourself out. And when you do, and if you see the same future I do, maybe I'll still be here.
I like that. He stood up for himself. He wanted the answer. He got it. I don't know how the Mary Kate
to believe Beth was still alive.
rift is gonna
I chose to save my sister from
heal
the monster
itself.
she's become.
Maybe Catherine isn't dead somehow.
When I get out of here, I'm gonna put her down once and for all.
This time I won't stop here.
What?
For so many years,
Nash?
I've traveled across worlds.
Submit and begin your life anew.
Show me.
The knowledge is within you.
It's code. It's like Stargate. Ooh! I have no idea. Flash? Okay, so they did have a tie-in right at the end. I don't know what all that was about. Nash finally, he wanted to bash down that wall for a few episodes, get to Monitor, and then he was consumed by blinding lights. To say that I have no theories whatsoever on what just happened would be an understatement. I literally have no idea. We'll just go with it. We'll find out next week. If you liked my reaction, please consider subscribing. If you didn't like it at all, you can check out these people that watch Batwoman too. That was a short episode. I think that was a really short episode of Batwoman. But maybe it just went by quickly and it was the same length as normal. To any Catherine fans out there, I apologize for not getting at all emotional over her death. Even with Mary getting really upset, it didn't really get to me because I'm like, Catherine. Plus, I at the back of my head, I was like, maybe it's a trick. Maybe they'll bring her back. Maybe she isn't really dying. So I wasn't really in the moment of her death. I wasn't really emotionally there. And also, she's probably the least likable person of the main cast. But that's a real wrench in the works for Mary and Kate. And Mary and any of them, really, because, even if she found out that Kate was Batwoman, I think in some ways that would make it worse. Because Batwoman, whatever about Kate not being able to stop Alice or still being on Alice's side, Batwoman would have the power to take down Alice before any of this happened. So if Mary found out that Kate was Batwoman, she would double down on you could have stopped this, you could have done something, you had all the tools, all the power, all the, you could have done something. Even in this episode, she could have done something. She could have arrested Alice at any point, but, knocked her unconscious, just anything, but she didn't. Although she was looking for her dad at the time, so maybe... But not at the start of the episode. But there were a room full of rabbit heads, so that was something else. So, yeah, the whole episode was Alice wanted to frame her father for her stepmother's death and went off without a hitch. And that's the power of having a mouse on your side who can be anybody at any time. But not two people at once. So we knew that it was really Catherine really dying because Mouse was Kane in that scene as well. Luke wasn't really in the episode much. Not much else happened in the episode. That's why I feel it was really short. It was sort of streamlined into the gala and nothing. And do people pronounce it differently? Because I always say gala, but there was a lot of gala in this episode. It could be a regional thing. I have nothing more to say about this episode. I'm surprised that they killed somebody off. I don't know. I felt like the show was too happy to kill a character off. Even though Alice kills everybody, to kill a main character is a pretty big deal. And it's a really big deal when it puts a wedge between Mary and Kate. So it's kind of ballsy in that way. So I'm looking forward to next week and all the crisis stuff, which I know nothing about, which is great. I don't know if all of the episode will deal with it, or if we'll have half a Batwoman episode and then half a crisis part. but we'll find out. If you're interested in the Crisis stuff, there's been a lot of build-up in Arrow this season, which I didn't know until I binge-watched it. There's been a lot of build-up to it over in that show, much more than on Flash. It's been mentioned on Flash, but it hasn't really, really been mentioned, whereas Arrow has been dealing with it. And yeah. So I'll see you back here again. If you watch Flash, I'll see you in 2 days for Flash. And if you don't watch Flash, I'll see you next week for Supergirl, which I don't watch, but I will be watching next week. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!